Hey guys, so the story about the neighbor who was a pervert. So when I was 16, I would walk down the neighborhood and I was walking to the bus stop and this guy was in his tighty whities and he would be like calling to me like psst, psst, psst. And it was gross and disgusting. So I mentioned it to my friend and she agreed that this was the situation and that she's been dealing with it ever since she's lived there. So I was like, that's terrible. And so after that, we started thinking about it, and I said, well, did you tell your parents about it? She was like, no. So I happened to mention it to my mother, and my mother told my aunts on a phone call, and when they talked about it, they said, oh, he's been doing this since we were in high school. Well, that was like a decade ago. So I'm thinking that's terrible that he's been doing this and getting away with it, making girls uncomfortable all these years. So my friend and I, we would hang out and stuff like that. And then I would sit and say to her, like, this is unacceptable. Like, I couldn't stop thinking about it. It was like driving me crazy that something needs to be done. I can't believe that he's been getting away with it. Like, I can't believe no adult has seen it. No one's told their families, something. How has this just been undealt with? So at this point, I said to her, we have to do something about it. And she said, like, what are we going to do? And I said, I don't know. I said, well, we got to think of something. So I sat there for a while and I thought about it and I thought about it. And so I said to her, his wife leaves for work before he does. And that's the even worst part. He's got a wife and I'm sure she would be freaking horrified to know, sorry, I'm seeing curls and I'm hoping it's not going to frizz up again. But anyway, but I was like, she doesn't even know that this is going on. And if I was married and my husband was doing this, I would definitely want to know about it. Especially 10 years he's been getting away with it. Like, what kind of marriage is this? So in any event, I went ahead and we tracked her. So she leaves before he does. And then he leaves shortly after, I guess, we get to school. So after school, we came home and we devised this plan to watch the house. And we watched, and the wife gets home before he does. Because we ended up we kept looking and then we saw her car out there. So we knew she got home approximately like 6, 7 o'clock at night. So at this point, I decide we go to my friend's typewriter because this was the 80s, so there was typewriters. It was at least an electrical typewriter, I think. But we typed a letter, and it was addressed to her, and it's we just basically said, hey, this is members of the community, and it has come to our attention that this is going on, and that it's making many of the young girls uncomfortable, and talking to families and previous families in the neighborhood, apparently this has been going on for better part of a decade. I'm looking like I'm gonna run out of the 3 minutes. I don't know if it'll let me keep going, but I'll try. If not, if we get cut off, I'll do a part 2. So we basically typed the letter up and then we put it into an envelope. Oh, I forgot, I recorded it on my phone first to see if I could get it under 3 minutes. Maybe they'll let me, we'll see. So we figured out, this is the time she gets home. So we typed up the letter and we said, that the neighbors are upset about it. And that if it continues, we hear about it one more time, anyone notices it, anybody sees it, and we are going to notify the police department, the proper authorities. And I kid you not, in 2 weeks, there was a for sale sign in that house because we went up and stuck it in there before she came home from work. I addressed it to her and we just slipped it in the mailbox because since she comes home from work, she gets the mail first. And then in 2 weeks, there was a for sale sign. So I got the pervert out of my neighborhood at 15 or 16 years old. Now, in hindsight, as an adult, I probably should have just called the police and handled it that way. But who knows if they would have done anything? You know what I mean? It would have, like, even if I said, like, oh, it's been going on for a decade, he's been standing there, they're just going to come and be like, you can't do that. You know what I mean? So, technically, let him start off somewhere else. Maybe in some other neighborhood he does that and some man sees it and he's going to, beat the bejesus out of him. So, I don't know, but that's the story. I hope you all enjoyed it. Leave some comments. Let me know if you thought it was inspiring or whatever. I don't even know what that is. But let me know what you thought and like, share, and subscribe.